listening to Retro Station, a retro game podcast. If you smell what Retro Station is cooking.
Hi everyone, welcome to Retro Station, a retro games podcast. I'm David.
AKA Dave Rodriguez podcast.
Hey, would you listen? Pick games that the fates like, and you won't have that problem. I'm David.
I'm Hilary.
And I'm also David.
There we go. We are all David.
I'm Steven.
He's Steven. I don't know what's going on. This has been, before we even started recording, it's been a disaster here, and I don't know what's happening. Anyway, today we're going to be talking about WWF No Mercy for the N64. But before we get to that, Hilary, I know you've had nothing to do the last week. Have you played any other games?
Nope.
No. You've been extremely busy, actually. You're too busy, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a problem. Anyway, it's okay, though. What about you, Steve?
Yeah, so since the last episode, Final Fantasy Tactics came out for Steam, so I've been playing a lot of that. I've actually just got back from a trip all around the world, well, the U.S., basically the world that they'll let me go to.
Yeah.
And then, but yeah, I flew from here to Arizona, from Arizona to Baltimore, drove from Baltimore to D.C., drove back to Baltimore, flew back to Arizona, and then back to Seattle, all in a week. But during that 15 hours in the air, I did get time to play games.
That's great.
Yeah. I played Jaws. I think I mentioned that game before.
Is it?
It went pretty well. I didn't beat the game, but I got pretty far in it. You just have to like drive from one shipyard to the other and then collect shells, and apparently some guy upgrades your boat for shells. That's the currency.
That's pretty nice.
Yeah.
Wow.
And the problem is if you die, and I don't know if there was options for like difficulty levels. I don't think there was, but if you die, you lose power, so it makes it pretty hard if you die. And then as you get further, like the jellyfish are the real killers, because there's like stingrays, jellyfish, little sharks, and then of course Jaws.
Yeah.
And Jaws only shows up if you hit something and you're near Jaws or you hit Jaws. But the jellyfish, they start by just going up, and they're pretty easy to avoid. The stingrays just go left or right. They're pretty easy to kill or avoid. But then as it gets further along in the game, probably has to do with powering up your boat. The jellyfish like randomly like shoot off to the side and get you. So it was pretty hard.
Yeah. Wow.
But I played that. I played a little bit of Mario 3.
Oh, wow, okay.
I completed like the first world and a little bit of the second world. And on the last flight back, I played some Dr. Mario.
Oh, nice.
Kind of going back to our Tetris roots.
Yeah.
That's fun. When it gets fast, it gets fast.
Yeah.
And it's harder than regular Tetris because instead of, just making a line, anybody can make a line, you have to like actually match the pills to the guys, and eventually the guys like fill up half the screen.
Yeah.
And you're going to have to put colors that don't belong on ones, and then you have to fix it, and so that was fun. But probably 12 of those 15 hours in the air was devoted to Final Fantasy Tactics.
Yeah.
I've made it pretty far. I don't think I made it past Act 1, but I've gotten pretty far in the game.
Yeah.
Quite a few levels. Cities have opened up. And
Yeah. Some of the battles are pretty long, right? So, I mean, like...
Yeah, they can be. Usually the pickup battles are pretty quick. I didn't realize it when it was warning me that it said, like, if you do a pickup battle, the enemies will be the same level as the highest person in your group. I thought group meant, like, what I'm taking.
Okay.
So I was like, well, I have a whole bunch of level 1s that I have and need to build up. And so I took, like, all level 1s, but no, they were the highest level in my group of everybody.
Oh, no.
Yeah. But luckily, what's nice about the new mode is you can retry battles, you can retry and reorganize your groups, or you can just exit to the world. And so, of course, you lose any experience and anything that you might have picked up in the thing, but it's very forgiving as far as if you just want to
Try out
back
party
out.
and
That's great. That might be something I'll have to try sometime.
I think I'm level 9.
Right on. How do you remember? Because I know you played it a few times before. Like, what level do you typically end up at? Like, what's like the high point?
I think 60.
60.
I think it's like a normal Final Fantasy game. If you were to just go through and not like grind for jobs and stuff like that, I think if you beat the game, you're going to be around like level 60 something.
Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha. I would probably grind a lot though. And,
Well, I mean, the jobs are cool, especially if you want like a mime. The mime, you have to have like level 8 of almost every single job.
So I've never seen how the mime plays. Are you just stuck in your one square, going, like putting your hands up because you're stuck in a box, or
You actually mimic everybody that plays. So like if like you had a wizard and I haven't played the mime in a long time. It's very hard to get, first of all. But if your wizard did Thunderaga, then the mime would do Thunderaga.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right. Okay, that's nice. Wow, that could be really useful. Oh, that's like the best thing the mimes have ever done. It's fantastic. Great. Was that it?
Yeah. I might have been forgetting some, but I think those are the main ones that I played.
Right on. You did a lot of retro stuff.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's pretty easy to pick up and put down.
Yeah, that's true.
And because, I don't know, Final Fantasy Tactics is fun, but it's not like push all night fun, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
It's can get a little tedious, so I was like, I need to break it up a little bit.
Right. So I didn't do too much retro really at all. I played a few games. I played a fighting game called Melty Blood Type Lumina. It is a 2D fighter. I played it on Steam. I'm not sure if it's available on other things or not, but I think it's based on an anime or a manga or a visual novel series of games. I cannot remember. I've seen various different things about it, but there's some kind of like vampire hunting thing going on. So some of the characters are vampires, I guess. It's not always super obvious. And it's really flashy. It's really cool to look at because like when you're doing a special move, like a big cut of your character's like face comes in and just lots of crazy stuff going on. And at least when you're playing on easy, it feels really easy to pull off all kinds of wacky stuff. But the only thing that's kind of weird is like I feel like a lot of the characters look sort of similar in the way they're dressed. Like there's like 3 or 4 like maid characters, and some of them look like they're in maybe some kind of a school uniform. There's a few that stand out, and they do have different like hair and like things going on with their face or whatever. But you know,
You probably really like to customize hair.
no, you can't give them different hair, but they have different hair. What are you talking about? Leave it alone. Listen. I only own like 1 wig in the house for a costume, so or 2 wigs, both for costumes though. So you leave me the hell alone. So no, you don't customize them, but you know there's enough different ones that if you want someone in a school uniform that has blue hair, I think there's one in there. So you know you got choices. But it's pretty fun. It's pretty fun. I don't know the ins and outs and how to do all like the cool moves, but like I said, you can do cool stuff without really knowing how to do things and crazy combos. So it's a pretty cool game. I played some Hades like the 3rd time restarting it, and the reason why I did is because the previous 2 times I get to a certain weapon or unlock a certain weapon, and I don't touch any of the others after that. Have you played Hades?
I have.
You have. What weapon do you like? Do you remember?
I don't know. It was weird because I don't know. I don't really understand. I didn't really play enough to understand the game a lot.
Yeah.
But I know that I did unlock a few weapons, and then there's like the gods come and like will enhance the different moves. Mm-hmm. And I don't know if the enhancements like reset or if they like every time that you went back in or if they kept upgrading. I didn't really understand that because the moves all seemed very similar. But
yeah, when you die, all the gifts from the gods reset, but there's like a mirror you can go to, and those you can use
for permanent upgrades.
Yeah, you can do like permanent upgrades.
I think one of them's a bow, and I prefer range.
Yeah.
So if that's correct.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's the one I've been most recently trying. But the previous times I always go with the shield. And to me, that's like easy button. I just go in and start throwing it. Every time it comes back to me, I throw it. I just Captain America the crap out of that thing.
Oh, that one was.
And I just dodge everything. I don't even. I just run around and throw my shield and hope I don't get hit or try not to get hit. And I don't even have to worry about aiming because it kind of goes for whoever. So super easy with that. But I'm trying to do some of the other ones to make it more of a challenge, or at least figure out, because I know not everyone has the shield as their favorite. So I want to try some of the others and see what the thing is there, but I was using the bow, and it's kind of hard because you have to, like, stand still kind of to shoot it, and that's scary to me because I'm used to just running constantly. So we'll see. But I'm doing all right. There's a few bosses I'm thinking of ahead of time that I don't know. I don't know how I'm going to deal with them when I get to them with the bow, because, man, it's like constant. I'm constantly sprinting around with the shield, and even then it's hard not to die. So we'll see what happens.
I don't think I made it to many bosses. There was like twins, or there was like a group that was 2 bosses.
Yeah, and they jump around like they're bombs at you.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're like halfway through like the first section, and then there's usually for a while you get Megara at the end of that, who's a fury, and then after a while you start getting her sisters too, and they all have different patterns and stuff. But yeah, later on you get all kinds of crazy bosses. So I don't know how I'm gonna deal with those without my trusty Captain America shield. I go from being Captain America to Hawkeye with a bow, and I mean, come on, look, who would you rather be? So we'll see, but it's fun. It's such a great game, and it's so easy to pick up and play. But I always think that I can just go in and jump and play like real quick. But like once you have gotten some more health and stuff, and you figured out the game, like you don't actually go in that quick. Like you're actually playing for a while before you die and can save and back out. So it's not actually as quick a game as I always fool myself into thinking it is, but it's fun though if I have the time to do it. And then I played a little bit more Monster Hunter Stories, not too far, but I finally got to some of the battles to see what the system was, and it's kind of neat. So right now I only have one monster with me. I don't know if you end up with like a bunch or not, but when you're fighting an enemy, you're going to choose whether to attack with a power attack, a speed attack, or a technique attack. And your opponent's going to do the same thing. And what will happen is your opponent and then whichever person or monster he's attacking, they're going to charge at each other. It's going to say head on. And then depending on which ones you picked, it can go a different way. So if you pick an attack that makes you weak to whatever the monster's using, then it's bad. But if you pick one that's really strong, you might not get hit at all, and you might hit them really hard. So it's kind of fun. You figure out what
paper, scissors.
Yeah, and you figure out what the different kind of monsters do, like what they're typically gonna do. I mean, so far, and I've only seen a few, so it's not really impressive. But I can look at them and be like, this is going to be like a speed guy, so I'm gonna do like a whatever I can't remember which way it goes, but technique and dodge around them and hit. And, but I'm sure later on it probably gets more complicated. I'm guessing probably the monsters start changing it up and don't do the same kind of attack every time, because when they do, that's pretty easy. But it's kind of neat. And then you also build up to a point where you can like jump on your monster and do some kind of special mounted attack. And so yeah, it's fun. I like it. It's pretty cool. I kind of want to keep going on that. And yeah, it's not super demanding. It looks really pretty, but I don't think it has like a ton of like polygons compared to other games, but everything's so brightly colored and so like made to stand out that it just looks really good, even without it being made up of a billion polygons. I mean, it could be a billion polygons, I don't know, but it does. I don't think it's as many as like some of like the really big, crazy fancy games, but it still looks amazing. So yeah, really liking it.
I did think of another game I played. It was Kirby Dream Land 3 for Super Nintendo. Played a little bit of it. Didn't really care for it. You have like a black blob that follows you around.
Oh, weird.
But you can also pick it up, and I don't know.
I don't know if I played that one. I haven't played a lot of the Kirby games, actually, but...
And you had to, like, suck in and use certain abilities to destroy certain blocks. So there was, like, a boomerang one that you got from a knight, and then there would be, like, blocks with, like, little boomerang things on it. And then there's, like, an umbrella one that you got from, like, flying guys, and there'd be blocks that have umbrellas on it, and lightning blocks that you got from lightning guys, and it's interesting. Kind of puzzly.
Yeah. That's cool. I don't know, I just haven't... I played, like, one of the Game Boy ones, I think, and I've seen the Switch one, which looks cool, but I haven't really messed with it, so... You played some, haven't you?
I played a little bit of the Switch one. One of the handheld ones, I haven't played too many of them, so...
Yeah, it's a popular series, but for some reason it hasn't really ever grabbed me either, but... I don't know. I'm sure one of them will probably like, but haven't found it yet, so... You guys have any other games?
I don't.
Yeah.
No.
What about news? Hell, you got anything? Or you get too busy working?
Yeah, I think I saw something, but I didn't take a note on it, so I don't remember what it was, so...
Yeah, no worries. What about you, see if you have anything?
Halloween's coming up.
Yeah.
That's news.
Didn't expect it.
Vinny's birthday's coming up this week.
Oh.
So we're going to be planning that. He's going to have some friends over.
Cool. Is he, well, I probably shouldn't ask you what he's asked for and what he got, because he might see this at some point. I don't know. But...
Well, no, this will be
it'll
after,
come.
right?
Oh, it'll be after. You're right.
Yeah.
I forget that we're on a massive time delay here, so.
When I went to Arizona, I visited my dad, and they got him $40 Robux gift card, which he's already opened. So
Nice.
He knows he has that.
Yeah.
And then the things that he's asked for, I think, are just like more Switch games. He likes Roblox. And then Labubus. His sister got a Labubu, and now he wants one. But I don't know. Not too many specific things. He really likes just things to add to his Roblox or to his existing game system.
Gotcha.
So Heather and I did get him a Switch 2 for his birthday.
Oh, boy. That'll be exciting.
Yeah, and it'll
Nice.
have the Mario Kart, the new one.
Nice.
Yeah.
Very cool. Yeah, one other thing.
Yeah.
I just very recently watched the Labubu South Park episode, and so you should be concerned.
No, I've seen it. Yeah. I'm up to date on those.
Okay, good.
Yeah. I think Pokemon is coming out soon. What day
Is it?
Yeah,
Oh.
it should be.
Next
Totally lost track.
Wednesday?
Yeah,
Oh, wow.
I think so.
Thursday?
Sometime next week.
Which means by the time you see it, it'll be out. So.
Yeah.
And wait, I saw you post something, and I haven't looked into this. Did you say it's like it's an action game now? It's not an RPG, or?
Yes. So you are. Yes. So. Do you remember Pokemon Arceus?
I've watched it.
Yeah.
Okay. So it's similar to that, but when you got. So you can like throw Pokeballs at things without battling them, and if you
Okay.
hit them with like being hidden and stuff like that, then you can have a better chance of catching them. Some Pokemon are more aggressive, so they will attack you, and you can faint if you get hit, and that's why you have your own Pokemon defending. Now, in Pokemon Arceus, they had something kind of similar to what you're talking about in Monster Hunter Stories.
Okay.
Where you had different abilities like you do in regular Pokemon. You have 4 different attacks. But then of those attacks, you could choose if you want it to be heavy or speed or technique or,
Okay.
and those would, so if you pick speed, it was almost like a quick attack. You're familiar
Right.
with quick attack. So it'd go before, but it would maybe do like half the amount of damage. Or if you did power attack, it would be slower, but it would do more damage, and then a normal attack would go at its normal speed and do its normal damage. Well, this one, they have their 4 attacks, and they're kind of back to the basic of, Pikachu will have, quick attack or thunder or, things like that. But they're going at real time. So the 4 attacks will be represented by your 4 buttons. If you click like A, it'll do thunder, but thunder is like a pretty powerful attack, right?
Right.
So when you do it, it'll then have a cooldown bar.
Oh.
And so you have to do then go quick attack, and then quick attack will probably have a quicker bar because it's quick attack. And so it's more of an action game because you're actually fighting back and forth using skills that have cooldown times.
Sounds almost like an MMO, kind of.
In a way.
Sort of. I mean, I don't know if I'm right about that, but that's interesting. Huh.
But then, because it's in a city, you can walk around and explore the city at daytime. But at nighttime, then all the cool kids come out and challenge people to battles. So there were no real gyms or Pokemon trainer battles in Pokemon Arceus. And this one, you do. I think that was one of the only complaints about Arceus,
Right.
if there was one, was that there were no regular gym battles. It was more like wild Pokemon theme.
Gotcha. Yeah.
So it's called, what is it called? Pokemon A to Z? Or Pokemon
ZA.
ZA.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you start out at rank Z or Z.
Mm-hmm.
And then as you fight trainer battles and I think higher end people, then your rank goes up and you're trying to get to rank A.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So
Okay. Interesting. Well,
it seems interesting.
yeah, hopefully it's good. Are you going to be picking that one up?
I'm sure Vinny will. I might look at it, but I don't have a Switch.
Yeah.
If he has a Switch and then eventually a Switch too, I know it's going to be out for both, but like, I've been really... I'll have to see, because I've been really bored with Pokemon. It's been very easy.
Yeah.
To see.
Well, now there's like a lot of... we were talking about Pal World, but other than just that, there's a lot of independent games that are, taking the same idea. Maybe one of those will be...
Well, and I have 2 downloaded for the Switch. I just have... Or not the Switch, my Steam Deck. So, like, Pokemon and... another one.
Yeah.
But I just haven't gotten to them yet.
Yeah, right on. Well, hopefully something will do it for you. All right, so I've got some news. So, Electronic Arts EA has been bought out and is not going to be a publicly traded company anymore. If you own shares, I think you're getting a little north of $200 per each share. I don't know if that's good or not, but that is the case. So it was bought by like a consortium of 3 companies. It includes this Saudi Arabia's Public Investment Fund, a company called Silver Lake, that's a private equity venture firm, and then Affinity Partners, which is an investment firm founded by Jared Kushner. So do with that what you will. I don't know what this is going to mean for EA as far as if anything's going to change with how they run or anything like that. It's too early to really say because it hasn't fully gone through, but it's expected to. EA has kind of been considered sort of big assholes lately. I wish I thought that this made it sound like it was going to be better, but I don't necessarily think so. But we can cross our fingers and hope that EA maybe does a few less, loot boxes and all that other kind of junk. Maybe I don't have a lot of hope for that. But it's interesting anyway, and it's a big deal. That is, one of the biggest companies out there, and they've been around forever. So I was kind of surprised to hear that, and hopefully we'll find out more about what it's going to mean long term later. Everyone's mad at Xbox and Microsoft because of their...
They raise the price, or what
Yeah.
did they do? I've seen that they're mad, but I don't own an Xbox.
So I haven't been subscribed to Game Pass in a while, so I couldn't tell you how it would or wouldn't affect me specifically. But if you get the ultimate level, which is the highest tier one, in the US, that's the price increased by 50%.
Oh, wow.
For the PC one, it's increased 28%. You also don't get as many new things for the PC one, but people aren't really happy with what you get with the Xbox one either. So it's getting 45 new games. Many of those are Ubisoft classics, which is cool. I mean, there's a lot of Assassin's Creed and whatnot, which is fine, but you can also just straight out buy those for a few bucks usually. Like, you can get them real cheap if you play your cards right and be patient about it. It doesn't have, like, the newest Assassin's Creed on there, so you're not getting that. So that's not great. It gives you access to Fortnite cruise services. I have no idea what Fortnite cruise services is. I hope that's something good if you like Fortnite.
Well, Fortnite's a free game, right? So.
Yeah, but I don't know what crew is. It's I don't know. I probably could have looked into that, but I don't want to look at Fortnite. I don't care that much. They're promising more. Yeah, you can do little dances. I guess they can learn how to dance with Fortnite. That's except for I shouldn't do that. They're promising more Xbox originals on there. But as far as the PC, they're getting 50 Ubisoft games. Same deal. You could just buy them, probably, and it doesn't make sense.
What is the price? Did you get the
so on Xbox, it was $20 a month, and it's going up to $30 a month. That's a lot. That's
well, considering nowadays a game probably takes you, well, depends on how much time you have on your hands, but like an RPG 30-40 hour game usually takes me a month or maybe even longer to play. Why would I pay 60% of the game price to rent the game, right?
Yeah.
And they can take, they do take games off.
Yeah.
And stuff like that. So, like, I don't understand. Like, I would look at it like maybe I'd pay $30 once and then try a whole bunch of games that maybe I was too afraid to, like, purchase.
Yeah.
And then I would cancel it and then buy those games and then probably do that again later when new games came out. But I can't pay $30 a month to rent a game.
Well, they're probably counting on people doing what you're doing, talking about doing, and then forget that they signed up for it.
So I guess the reason they're doing this is because I hope I'm saying it's right, that it's Call of Duty Black Ops 6, whichever one. because they put out their new Microsoft games on Game Pass right away, right? So if you had it, you could just play that for free. And apparently they lost like $300 million on that game by doing that. Also, though, they only recently announced that Game Pass got them $5 billion in profit, so that $300 million doesn't seem all that bad. You know, they could, if that's, throw me like $1 million of that. Just give it to me. You know, why not? It doesn't even hurt you. So, yeah. So people are mad because of that. People started canceling their subscriptions, and it actually crashed their servers several times with people going in, canceling their Game Pass subscriptions. So pretty brutal there. There is also, I think this is a free. I think this is free. Streaming thing, right? So if you want to try streaming a game, you can do that. But if you're doing the free one, this is how stupid this is. First you have to watch at least one ad. There might be a few. I don't know. It's paid for by ads, right? But then you can only play for an hour at a time, and you can only play for a total of 5 hours a month. Why? Why would you ever do that?
Well, I mean,
they want you to try it and
but
buy
it's
it.
free.
I guess, right?
It's free.
I believe so. Yeah.
Then I don't even need that monthly pass.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
if I wanted to do like what I was going to do before, do like a trial thing.
But unless I just wanted to try an hour of a game to see if I wanted to buy it, there's no reason I would play a game that way. Like almost any game, even the ones that people complain are too short, are more than 5 hours long. Mm-hmm. So am I really going to be like, oh, I'll play this game for an hour, then in a week I'll come back and play the game for an hour and do that and keep coming back? I mean, how long would it take you to beat Skyrim? I mean,
I don't think it's designed. Like, I think it's that type of thing is designed for like what Steve's talking about.
I'm sure it is. It's just, I don't see the value in that even for free. Like, I just don't want to do that. I don't.
Well, what's interesting is even when like Netflix and Blockbuster and Hollywood Video and those ancient things had like the rentals where you paid monthly, mm-hmm. and then you get unlimited rentals. Well, that's cool with movies because 2 hours and then you're done and you're on to the next movie. So you could rent a movie almost every night or more, because I think on the Blockbuster one you got 2 at a time. Right. You know, you would go through the whole store in a couple months, and then, you know, there's always new things releasing. But they had a video game one, and I never even got that one because it was kind of similar. Like, why would I pay $15, $20 a month for unlimited video game rentals, which are limited because you can only get the stuff that they provide for you. Mm-hmm. And then if you're playing it for over a month, you might as well have just bought the game. And if you're playing one game for over a month, then you're not really getting the value of the thing. I mean, I guess if you're playing like multiple fighting games and all sorts of stuff, but
and the other thing you got to realize too is that like they can give you all these numbers. Okay, well, there's going to be 45 Ubisoft classes, and Ubisoft makes some good stuff. A lot of people don't like the company, but they make a lot of good games. Like, I really like the Assassin's Creed games, but am I going to play each one of those back to back to back to back? Probably not. Like, the number of those that I'm actually going to care about to play is not 45. I'm sure of it. It's going to be a lot smaller. I'm not even going to play all the Assassin's Creed games given the time. I'm going to pick the best ones and probably play those. Like, you're not really getting all those games in a useful way. And then, as far as like the brand new games that come out, you know, if we're getting towards Christmas, you're going to have some really great games probably on that thing every month or until we get to Christmas. But there's going to be months where there's not anything interesting. I mean, there'll be something, but you're going to have months where you don't care about those games and you're still paying for what you already had. Yeah. So
I would hate to get to a certain part of the game and then they like be like, oh, you got like 5 days to finish it, and you're like, I
know that's happened to me before. That I can't remember what game, but there's some game that I played, and then I was like, I stopped for a while, and I wanted to get back to it, and it was gone. I was like, God damn it.
Now, how does this work with the Game Pass? Do you see a game, and then you grab the game, and you have to download it on your system, and you have to like log into Game Pass to play it, or are you actually streaming the game from like their servers?
I believe, at least back when I was doing it, so it's possible something can change. You actually are downloading, like it's on your system, but you do have to be connected to Game Pass, like sign into Game Pass to use it. Okay. If you stop your Game Pass subscription, the game goes away, and if they decide to pull it, it also goes away.
Okay.
I believe.
So you have to be on internet connection.
Yes.
Which, do you have to have a special Xbox internet, like Nintendo has internet?
Yeah.
Or is that included?
Yeah, well, you have to have an Xbox Live account, and as long as you're connected to the internet, like you just sign into that account.
Well, is that cost money?
No.
Okay.
No. Thankfully. But still, it's... I
was just curious, because, like, if you are streaming it from, like, their server, then you have to rely on your internet and their internet and all sorts of stuff, too.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it is possible.
And apparently you probably can't play them offline, so if, like me, I went on a trip, then I wouldn't be able to access those.
Yeah. So if you're listening and I'm saying something wrong, let me know. But this is my understanding. Again, I haven't subscribed in at least a few years, so there may be something I'm incorrect about. But either way, people are mad at Xbox. And if you look on YouTube, if you look up Xbox, like everyone's like, it's going to be the end of Xbox. I don't know if that's true. But it might be. Costco's already decided they're not going to carry Xbox anymore. They're carrying the other systems, but they're not going to carry Xbox.
Costco should carry Steam. But, I mean, yeah, get a Steam Deck, man. I know that Xbox just came out with their... Did they just come out, or are they almost out? Their new handheld?
I'm not sure. I haven't followed it too closely because I'm not intending to get one. So, right. I don't know. I think it's either out or it's almost out. I'm not... It's close if it's not out yet.
But like $30 on Steam, when you go into like the summer and winter sales and stuff, you could get more than a month's worth of games for $30.
Yeah, good stuff. I mean, stuff that maybe isn't like the brand newest AAA games, but if you don't mind that it's a year or two old AAA game, yeah, dude, you can get a few of those, and they still are just as awesome as they were. So, dude, yeah, I think it's a...
I think I got like all the Half-Lives and Portals for like a total of $3 or $4 or something like that.
That's insane for awesome games.
I don't know what thing you do, but you always throw me codes.
Every once in a while there's like a super cheap deal, and it's like, we'll just give you like whatever, a few random games if you pay like $3 or whatever it is. And so if I happen to have a duplicate, I was like, I can't use that key, so you can have it. So yeah, I don't know. I mean, if you have an Xbox, I understand you want to use your Xbox. I don't see the value in this thing at all, so I don't blame people for canceling. And I hope Xbox changes their mind. Maybe they will. I don't know. I doubt it, but we can keep our fingers crossed.
How will the CEOs buy new boats and stuff?
That's a good question. I don't know how they will.
I did find the news thing that I saw.
Okay.
It doesn't say the name of the company, but we talked about the Game Boy Lego set. There's actually a company that's coming out with a mod so that you can actually play cartridges on it.
That is fantastic. So. That's what I would want to do.
Yeah.
Like, that would be so much happier if I could actually play on my goofy Lego thing. I hope I wouldn't get like mad and like throw it, because that'd be
have to rebuild it.
If I'm like missing a piece and it's an important one, that would suck. But I think that's really awesome. I would totally want to do that. I probably will not do that because I don't have any
hopefully they hook up with Lego and they can start doing those mods for all their
that would be
things,
so amazing.
because that would be so much cooler to be able to build something that you could physically use.
Yeah. I mean, it's got to... Well, I don't know if with the way they've currently made those Lego sets, but like it's got to be possible to do that with others. They'd have to probably make a new version of them on some of them, but I think that'd be amazing if they did that. I would be all on board, except for I sold all my games, so I probably wouldn't. But I'd be really happy for people who did that. Since we're talking about a wrestling game today, and we're talking about people being angry at things, WWE 2K25 has this this mode called My Faction. And in it, you can get trading cards. And trading cards will have wrestlers on them. And it might be like, oh, it's an emerald version or like a sapphire or whatever. There's all kinds of different versions of like every character or every wrestler you can think of. And some of them are just really cards that you can use in specific My Faction challenges. Some of them will actually put that version of that character into the rest of the game so you can use, which is neat. Those are hard to get. So they're coming out with one
Are these physical cards that you scan in? Oh,
these are
digital cards.
They're all digital, yeah. And you can get those a number of ways. Like sometimes you'll get one just for logging in. That day you'll get something. And you also, every time you do anything in the game, you get the in-game currency called VC, and you can use that to buy packs or buy individual cards sometimes. And they're coming out with, or have come out with, I'm not sure exactly, I'm a little unclear. There's going to be a card that's a version of AJ Styles from when he was in TNA, including his like ring entrance and song and all that stuff. And that's going to be something that you can get, and that'll go into your regular game if you get it. So the tricky thing is that you have to beat a certain challenge on my faction to do it, and you have to use certain cards to beat that challenge. Now, you can grind and grind and grind, and you can use your VC to buy packs and hopefully get those cards. That's iffy. You can grind and grind and grind and just buy those cards outright. Supposedly you might be able to grind and grind and grind and get that AJ Styles card. I'm not sure. But right now it's all in prediction, so I think it's not quite out yet. But the prediction is to get that AJ Styles card, if you just want to buy that directly, that could cost upwards of $50. But if you can't buy that directly and you just want to buy those cards that you need to do the challenge, I've heard estimates up to $210, real money, to buy those cards that's useful for that challenge, and maybe some other challenges elsewhere in the game, I don't know, but to get the one wrestling character, or the version of the wrestling character you want, because you can play current day AJ Styles in the game. I know this is not the only game that does this. I think the other 2K games also do it. There's like basketball ones. I think they all have a similar ridiculous thing. So is there any game that you guys have ever played where to get one character in that game, you would pay at least $50 for that character? Anything?
Nope.
I think it's insane.
Well, in the new Pokemon, you can pay $30 to get 2 of the same characters.
That's right. That's a good point.
That's
yes.
they're actually calling that a DLC. That's not like a loot box or whatever. So now, if I took my $50 on my credit card and swiped it onto my game, am I guaranteed that AJ Styles, or is that what they're estimating the amount it takes to find it in the packs?
The estimate I saw is that is how much it could likely cost to just buy him outright. Buy that card.
From another player that's already opened it?
No, just from the online card store.
So I could just go... So it's like a $50 DLC.
Yeah, but that's not 100% certain it's that price, but yeah, basically, we're saying it's like $50 DLC, because it's going to be a rare card, so it's not going to be a cheap one. Mm-hmm. I don't know how rare. Or you could hope to just open packs and open packs and open packs to get one, or to get the cards that you need to fight him. It's really, and it's one of those things too, where it's like when you put in your card, it's not going to say this costs $50, right? It's going to say this costs 110,000 VCs, right? So you're going to put in your card and buy however many VCs. And you may not use all of those. You may have leftover VCs that maybe you'll never use, but you pay that money. Mm-hmm. I hate this kind of system. I like that game a lot. I hate that. And I want games to stop that.
Well, I mean, people, I don't know. People pay for all sorts of stuff.
People do. Yeah, that's the problem, is that people do buy it, and so they keep doing it.
I mean, people play Magic Online, and those, you're actually purchasing packs to rip packs, or purchasing the, you're not even getting the cardboard to hold anymore.
Right.
Yeah.
But people do that.
Yeah.
I saw, it actually reminds me of a joke, not a joke, it's a skit from, God, I can't remember, but they're pretty popular with role-playing game skits.
Okay.
I wish I could remember their name, but they have a few guys and a couple girls in it, and this person is like new to the game, pops up in front of another person, and they're like, "Oh wow, that's cool, your armor and stuff like that, blah blah blah," and they're like, "Yeah, I did this quest and this quest and this quest," and all of a sudden it shows the new player like boop, and then they have like this amazing armor.
Yeah.
And like, what the hell happened? And he's like, well, I just bought it. Yeah. I bought this promo upgrade pack or whatever and got all this armor. And the lady was like, I hate these people who pay to win and do all this stuff. And the game used to mean something when you had to grind and stuff like that. And he's like, oh, I grinded 40 hours a week at my job. Yeah. And what was my reward? A paycheck. And what did I want to do? I wanted to use my paycheck to purchase this stuff that I don't have time for in game.
Yeah.
So I can have fun.
Yeah.
I mean, there's people who like that. I personally, and Vinny is one of those people. He'll like Brawl Stars is an app that he plays and I played, but every month or so they'll put out a new character, and you can either grind for that new character or you can purchase them outright, or you can buy like a cheaper battle pass, so then you can grind faster, I guess. He usually does the battle pass because it ends up being cheaper, but he has bought in like specific characters. And I'm like, man, I can't buy characters for those things.
Yeah.
It's just not how I play. I've never... So Diablo 2 was a big game that I played. And I have done the Mephisto and the Diablo runs, and I have earned the gear and traded it for SOJs that were the currency of that game. And I've purchased a perfect Bariza bow. And, you know, I've done that community of, like, trading.
Right.
But it was always grinding. It was always trading. It was always doing this stuff. I never pulled out my credit card and was like, I want a grandfather sword.
Right. Yeah. The thing is, like, obviously, if you want to do it, if it's worth it to you, of course, you know, have fun. That's cool. I would love to get that AJ Styles. Like, it's awesome. That's really neat. I don't like how, like, weird and, like, or how easy it is to not realize how much you're spending to get it. You know what I mean? That's what I really dislike about it. If they just put them up and said, hey, if you want this AJ style, it's $50, I still would not buy it because that's insane to me. But, like, whatever. Like, I'd pay $3. I'd probably pay $3 for most of the characters they put out. I would have given them a lot of money. But, I mean, really, in a way, because when I first bought it, I bought their season pass knowing that in 3 months they were going to have these 5 wrestlers come out. And in another 3 months they're going to have these 5. So, in a way, I did pay for these wrestlers, some wrestlers, but I knew what they were. I knew how much I was spending, whatever. I just don't like how hidden it is. It's just kind of gross to me. And I do wish they would just say, hey, look, if you want these, you can either do this game mode and go through it to, like, do a special thing and unlock it, or pay us $3 to $5.
Do they throw FOMO on it too? Do they say he's available?
I bet, yeah, because those challenges that are on there, they're always timed events. Sometimes it's sometimes it'll be a wrestler's birthday. So you go do the time event and it's only that day. Sometimes it'll be like for a month or two. So I mean, I don't know that one how long it's going to be. Hopefully a little bit at least, but still, unless it's a very long time, if you're going to try to grind through that mode or through the game to get VCs to buy all that, like, I think it's going to take a long, long time. So good luck.
If Nintendo wants to hire me, I have a great idea. Those terror raids that you do for Pokemon, just make it so you can slide your credit card and get them.
That's a good
You know
idea.
what I mean? I bet people would do it. Would do it because it is tedious, and I've done the grind, and even making that perfect Pokemon to take out that Pokemon, I had to make 2. I at least needed, like, another person to help me with it.
Yeah.
And then on top of that, it's, like, not guaranteed. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You still have to, like, do specific moves in specific order and stuff like that. I bet people would throw a couple dollars just to be like, oh, this week is the Charizard.
Right.
Boop, I'll buy it.
Yeah.
Because those are super FOMO.
Right. Yeah, I mean, for me, I just play the game because if you play a match, you'll get some VC for it. They rate your matches every time, like how good it was. So if you do a good one, you get more VC, and I just play. And then if there's something that comes up that, like, oh, I want to use my VC for that, I'll do it. But I'm never like, I must grind until I get this. But do what you like. It's fine. I just wish the companies would stop doing it or just be more upfront with what you're actually spending on these things. That's all. So the game of the week is WWF No Mercy for the Nintendo 64. So this came out, published by THQ in the year 2000. I believe the developer was Aki. Now, they'd come out with 4 total wrestling games using the same engine on the N64. They had WCW World Tour, WCW and NWO Revenge, WrestleMania 2000, and WWF No Mercy. They came out in that order, and each one, added more, became a little more refined until you got to No Mercy. Later on, I think Def Jam Vendetta uses the same engine or similar engine. There's another Def Jam game too. I can't remember the name. Fight for New York or something like that?
I think so.
Yeah. And then even more recent than that, AEW came out with a game called Fight Forever that they said it was going to be heavily inspired by that. And they were trying to bring back the fun of those games. It apparently failed at that miserably, but nonetheless, it's still inspiring people. So that's nice. So In this game, there are 6 exhibition matches that you can play if you want to do one-off. That's Royal Rumble, pay-per-view, where you can basically set up a series of matches and create your own event, and then you'll actually get ranked on your event, how good it was, and the matches and whatnot, so that's kind of cool. King of the Ring, you can do a guest referee match, ladder match, or an Iron Man match. There's 7 separate campaigns you can go through, which will have like a little bit of a storyline to them based on the title. So there's the World Heavyweight, Hardcore, Women's, Tag Team, European, and Lightweight. And that's 6 and not 7. I don't know why I said 7. So anyway, there you go. At the beginning of the game, you have 52 characters to choose from. There's 8 that are unlockable through championship mode. There's also 2 wrestlers that they found in the code of this game that aren't actually in the game. So Big Show and Ken Shamrock are not in the game. They were going to be, but then they were no longer under WWE contract when the game came out, so they had to take them and hide them. But since then, people have gone in and gotten into the data and found them in there, basically. So those kind of sort of exist, but you can't just access them easily. The very early cartridges that came out had a bug that would corrupt your save file. So you cannot keep your progress, at least not for sure. A lot of people just keep their system on for like ever, trying to keep their stuff there, but they did do a recall and I say replaced them all. I don't think mine had that issue I don't remember having any issues with saves. So
I remember Pokemon Red used to have a clock issue.
Oh, right.
Where that would lose save files.
Just Red, though.
Just Red.
Interesting. Huh. I don't think I had that problem either, thankfully. Yikes.
Well, it was like an old, it happened after a long time.
Right.
So if you were to purchase a used copy of Red, you weren't guaranteed that the clock would be good.
Gotcha. Interesting. Wow. Okay. Well, yeah, you think they catch this kind of thing early, but I guess not. It happens. So mods, if you go and download ROM hacks, they're still making mods of this game, all kinds of different themes. So if you want to play 80s WWF, you could do that. If you want to get the AEW roster, you can do that. You want to get to more modern rosters or just weird themed ones. I just looked at, there's this giant list and I don't even know what they all were, but all kinds of things. If you want to play it different ways, there's different ways that you can play it. I've seen one that actually does the WCW versus WWF thing, and that's fun. But yeah, so there's a lot of ways you can still alter this game and experience new characters in the game, if not, new gameplay. As far as reviews go, I found a few. So GamePro gave it a 100. It said, with an onslaught of brawlers, multiple play modes, and a solid create a wrestler feature, No Mercy will have you grappling for days on end. It's a definite must-have for wrestling fans. IGN gave it a 90, said a terrific game from top to bottom. The game mechanics are sound, the animation is fantastic, the characters are very responsive, and there's a tremendous amount of game modes. Whereas GameSpot gave it a 77, saying if you've stuck with THQ through its early WCW games and WWF WrestleMania 2000, No Mercy may not be fresh enough to hold your attention. So that was the lowest I could find from a magazine I'd heard of. Now, I'm assuming I'm the one who owned this game back in the day. Yeah?
I believe I talked a while back about my friend that liked wrestling back then, and so one summer we rented a wrestling game to play when we were visiting my dad for a week or something. And I believe this is the game that we rented. I'm not 100% sure, but I know it was a WWF N64 game, so it was this or the WrestleMania one.
Yeah.
So I think it was this one. Looking at the covers, the WrestleMania one didn't look familiar to me, so I believe I played this game back then, but not 100% sure it's this one.
Gotcha.
I don't think I played this game before this time. I played the wrestling games for the NES, and then I don't think I played any wrestling games until maybe PlayStation.
Okay. Yeah. I had the WCW ones, and then I actually didn't realize at the time that the WrestleMania 2000 was the same engine, so I didn't pick that up, and I don't know if I was watching WWF at the time or if I was still watching WCW at that time either, but I did have No Mercy, and I remember I jumped right into the World Championship campaign thing and just getting I don't know what difficulty I had it on, but I was getting my butt beat left and right. I think I got frustrated with it. And it was also past the time where I really had people coming over often to play games all together, so I didn't do as much multiplayer of that as I did some of the earlier ones. I kind of know how it goes because they do play very similarly. But yeah, I didn't play it quite as much as some of the earlier ones, even though it's a lot more fancier, has a lot more cool modes.
Did you mention what the genre was that we got this game? Because I don't remember.
I don't think I did. It was N64 sequels.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because it's been a while. It's been over a week. But,
yeah. So wrestling games, at least in modern days, they don't work like regular fighting games do. Like, you don't have a health bar that just depletes until someone's knocked out. This one has, I don't know if they're calling it a momentum bar on this one. I think depending on which game it is, it's something different.
Yeah.
And that can go,
it had some bar.
Yeah, that can go up and down at the bottom. And it does give you an idea of how well you're doing.
It was like a special bar, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Because once it got up, you could do your special move.
Yeah, exactly. So when you get it going all the way, like it'll flash first, it'll be almost all the way red. And then from that, it'll go to special and stay on special for about 10 seconds. And that's when you can do, your finishing move, whatever that might be. And then once you do that, or if you don't manage to do it, it goes back down to like middle-ish area. But yeah, it's not really a life bar. Although if you get down to like the blue, which is when it's like thinnest, like you're pretty in trouble. And it's interesting because one of the ways that you can get to boost that is by doing taunts, playing to the crowd. And I think it's kind of interesting because like I feel like wrestling games from those ones at least on were not just about like winning the match. It was like you had to put on a good match too. I don't know if it's as much the case in this one, but I know some of them, like if you kept doing the same move over and over again, your bar would start to go down. So they'd be bored that you're doing the same move over and over again. You had to vary it up, which is kind of interesting because it made you actually try different methods of attack, which is kind of cool. But I know I've played with people who, play that kind of game expecting to be a fighter and like, I don't understand what the hell's happening. Like why...
That was me this week.
Yeah, it's like, why am I doing really good and then I'm not, and then it goes down, and why is this person at nothing but he's still fighting me? And like, so you said you had trouble with that. That frustrated you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Frustrated me as well. Yeah.
I apparently just do not like wrestling games. Well, it was frustrating, and like it doesn't explain any of that to you at all. And so like I'm like, I saw the bar. I never did see it say special.
Yeah.
I probably did, but I didn't notice it. And so like, how does this game even end? Because I can't figure out how to pin. I can't figure out how to do, like, I couldn't figure out how to really do things in the game, and then like, or the stuff I did figure out how to do, like, I'm like, okay, cool. I may or may not have known how I did that, but I felt like I wasn't accomplishing anything.
Yeah. Did you feel the same way, Save? Or?
Exact same way. I even looked up the controls, and there was no control that said this is what you push to pin somebody.
Really? Interesting.
It didn't say that. I would get thrown out of the ring. So the game that I played, the first one that I tried was an exhibition, and I put unlimited time because I didn't know how the time would affect, and I wanted to figure out stuff. Well, I figured out like how to taunt and how to grapple and how to like do some kicks and punches and like the slap and the kick to the stomach before you grapple somebody and stuff like that. But like I would be pushing the button and a direction. I'd be pushing two buttons at the same time, and it just kept doing the same move over and over again. I couldn't figure out how to like do my special. When they would fall down and they would be ready to be pinned, and I would just like stand next to them and I'd push buttons and nothing would happen. There was one time that I like did jump on him or stomp him or something, like great, but like that's not how you win the game. I would get thrown out of the ring, and thank God there was no ring count, because I would just be standing there like walking up against the side of the ring, pushing every single button.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't get up. I'd try to go up the stairs. No. I'd try to climb a post. No. I would eventually, the computer was like, get in there. And I'm like, thank you. But like, yeah. And I looked up the buttons. There was nothing that said like, this is how you get in or out of the ring. This is how you pin somebody. And I would literally do a move, they'd fall down, and then I would try to pin. It didn't say, I didn't understand how to get out of pins. I mashed buttons, and that apparently worked sometimes. It didn't. There was only one time that I ever I didn't win, but I got the ref to start counting, and it just happened to be that one of my moves like, what is that? Where you put them up on your head and you... Power bomb. Because the power bomb goes into a pin.
Oh, it's well, okay.
Yeah, and that just happened to be like something that I figured out. I didn't know how I did the power bomb, because sometimes when I grappled, I did a suplex, and sometimes I did a power bomb, or sometimes I lifted them up and then they did something. Because I think the buttons were like hit, kick, grapple, and reverse. I think were the buttons.
Yeah, well, there's like you have like an attack button. That's your hit and kicks, and if you tap it or tap it with a directional thing, it'll do something different. If you hold it, it'll do like a heavy attack, again, depending on what direction you're hitting. Grapple works the same. If you do a light grapple or just tap it, it'll do a grapple, but the move is not going to be as powerful. If you hold it and grapple, then you do a more powerful grappling move. Basically.
There was a reverse button. I know that much.
Yeah, that's supposedly, assuming the thing I looked up was right, the R button was supposedly reversal, but what's funny is like I found that my guy would sometimes reverse without me ever touching that, so like I don't know, and it wasn't a guarantee like you're going to reverse if you hit that button. It's like I think you might like so, which I mean it makes sense. Like they don't want it to be like you can reverse everything if you're like super good at it, but
well, that was the other hard part was none of us had a 64 controller.
No.
Yeah.
I looked up the 64 controls, and then I looked up what those equaled on my controller. But like even looking up the original 64 controls, there was nothing that said this is how you pin.
That's weird. Was that like the instruction manual, or is it something else?
I believe so.
Okay, interesting. Wow, I only just like Googled stuff, so I didn't actually see like the instruction manual to even see that. So I may have gotten lucky in figuring out how to pin with that, but because it was like the L button would let you pin if you were in the right position to do so. What sucks is that, the N64 has like the 3-prong controller, right? And it has like the control pad on the left, and then the stick in the middle, and then it has on the right, it has the A, B buttons, and then 4 yellow directional buttons, basically. And most controllers...
triggers, right?
Yeah, and triggers, yeah. And most controllers don't have that. And so at least for me, those yellow buttons were represented by the right control stick. So if I wanted to hit the right or the yellow up button, I had to flick the control stick up, which made certain things very hard. It was really hard to run and do something. I kind of was starting to get the hang of it, but...
Yeah, I figured out how to run. You had to like use a control stick and a direction.
Yeah, but then if I wanted to attack too, like from that's where I found it tough. Like I could make myself run, but then just bump into it and be like, ugh, like, it's like not really useful in any way. So we did not play under ideal circumstances. They do make controllers out there that do mimic the N64, but it's a very specific thing. That's kind of the problem with emulating N64 games. Some of them really use a lot of the weirder stuff, and it's like that's kind of hard to pull off. And especially this one that I think probably uses just about everything. I don't think it used like the trigger Z button that was underneath the middle prong of the N64 controller, but just about everything else it used.
Because I've tried to play GoldenEye on my Steam Deck before, and it was tough. So.
Yeah, I tried that at some point too.
It was probably just an emulator issue. I mean, like I said, I swear I played, because my friend was big into wrestling and stuff. He actually did like indie wrestling when he got older. So I'm sure I played like for PlayStation and things like that. Right. And I'd try more of David's picks when they get picked for wrestling in other systems. But yeah, it was just a combination of this being on 64, I think is what hurt me. Yeah,
it's real tough. Again, I mean, not that it's, it's not simple controls compared to a lot of the wrestling games it is, but, I understand, like, the confusion of, like, what do I have to do to make all this stuff happen? It's weird. It can be weird till you get the hang of it. But especially when you're doing it on a non-ideal controller, that really, really doesn't help. I had trouble, like, I got, like, the pin down and all that kind of stuff, but I was trying to do the Intercontinental Championship campaign thing, and I got to a point where I was in a steel cage match with Rikishi. Okay, so I got to a point, first off, because you have to win by climbing out of the cage. And I didn't know how to climb, so I looked it up. I'm like, okay, I got this. And I got it so I could get halfway up, and then I would just sit there, and I wouldn't move. And eventually Rikishi would get up, because I'd knock him down first. He'd come and he'd shake the thing, and I'd fall down. I'm like, well, that sucks. So I looked it up again. I was like, okay, what do I have to do to keep going? And I found something. So I'm like, okay. So now I can get up and climb up to the top, but I couldn't figure out how to get him to try to get over. So now I fall from a higher distance, which is not great. So I looked it up again, and I'm finding different. I should have looked up the instruction manual. I didn't. Maybe I should have. But I found all these different things on Reddit or whatever. This is what you have to press, and this is what you have to. And there were all these different things. Everybody was saying something different, and it was driving me nuts. Finally, I got it so I could swing one leg over the cage, and so I was sitting there straddling the cage. But I couldn't figure out how to make him go over, and I think it's the same thing I was doing, but I couldn't make him do it. I think because I think part of it was you had to tap the up yellow button, and what I had to do is flick the stick fast enough to make him do it, and that's really, really hard to do. So after trying that match several times, I wanted to go through and frighteningly eventually fight Chris Benoit for the Intercontinental title. I was like, you know what? The story continues whether you win or lose, which is cool. I like that. I'm just Rikishi wins this one. I'm just not even. I can't. I'm done trying to climb over the stupid goddamn cage. And I think with a regular controller, it's probably not that hard. But I found it almost impossible with this thing. I was I hope the championship match is a cage match or a ladder match, because I will not win that. It's not. I can't do it. So not ideal. Did either of you guys mess with the Creator Wrestler thing?
No.
I did. I always make me in these games because I'm very self-centered and narcissistic. So I did that. I didn't. I look terrible like all the characters do. There's only a certain number of faces, and the faces. Tell you talk.
the faces. If you've ever done this Halloween project where you take a picture of yourself and you stretch it out. And you put it in a jar, and then you put it in your fridge, and you scare your friends, and it looks like your face is all stretched out around like a jar. That is, they take the picture of the professional wrestler, because you can tell who it is, who it's supposed to be, and then they put their face around a cylinder, and that's your person, and then everyone else is on a blocky body that roughly looks like maybe wearing the uniform that they're supposed to be wearing.
The part that I found funniest about their bodies is where their arm connects to their body. If they moved it certain ways, you could see that it's this tiny little thin thing connecting their arm to their body. I'm this is ridiculous. I mean, the faces too, especially.
Okay, so for example, the first person that I played as was Scotty Too Hottie.
Oh, right on.
And he was I don't know, a blocky version of Guy Fieri. His face was all like a straight cylinder, and then his face, and then he had his hair that was perfectly done up like that. Yeah.
It's amazing how back in the day, I mean, not that we thought it looked realistic, but we thought, oh, this looks so much better than what has come before. It's ooh, that's rough.
Yeah, last night when I played as Jeff Hardy, and his hair, had the cylinder face, and then the hair was just, on his body.
Yeah.
So, if you moved, the hair stayed where it was.
I do have to say, though, the most accurate character. I played against Eddie Guerrero, and he comes out with China, and China looks exactly the same.
Ouch. Damn.
Exactly how I remember.
Yeah. See, they got it right sometimes. Jeez. But I didn't give myself any moves. I just whatever the default was, I did. And so I didn't actually have a lot of different slams I could do. I realized, okay, almost all my slams are kind of the same. But you can go in and you can say, okay, when I hit, the strong grapple and left, it does this move. You could assign each one of those if you want to. For that time, it's an impressive Creator Wrestler. You can do a lot of stuff to it. One thing that's also nice in this one, I don't know if they had in WrestleMania 2000, is when the wrestlers came down to ring, they had this big video screen they called the Titantron, and they'd have a video of their stuff playing. And you kind of have that here, but it's an extremely low resolution slideshow, basically. Yeah. It's ugly. I kind of think maybe they shouldn't have done the video. I'm impressed they had the music in there. They had their actual walkdown music. It's not very high quality sound, but on a cartridge, that's kind of impressive. 52 wrestler, plus the unlockables, 60 wrestlers, all their music. I was surprised at that, because usually I think the early ones they had weird chiptune versions of some of the songs. I remember in WCW NW Revenge, I think you're just playing to the Nitro opening theme, but it's a goofy chiptune version of it the whole time. So
I was pretty impressed with the walk down scenes.
Yeah, they were pretty cool. They did some of their little gestures and whatever. It's kind of neat.
Some of the walking was a little weird.
I mean, you're still with the blocky body
Yeah.
and cylinder head, but
Yeah.
I mean, from what I can recall, because the characters in this were about the time that I was watching wrestling. So, or before I stopped watching wrestling, because I remembered a lot of the characters in it. And from what I can recall, those were like kind of how they entered.
Right.
And things like that.
Yeah, they did a good job. This also had, I didn't see it, the ability to go and continue, like, have your fight end up going backstage. I didn't do that because I remember you have to Irish whip people towards, like, the ring entrance area, and I could not figure out how to Irish whip anybody, so I never got back there. But that's cool that it was there. You could pull, I'm sure there's objects and stuff you can grab and hit people with. That's neat. You could pull objects from under the ring and hit them, but again, I did not. I couldn't do that with my controls.
Can't even get
No, I did figure out how to get to the ring eventually on accident. But yeah, so I mean, I feel a little bad because I'm kind of, we're kind of dissing on the controls, and it is partially our controllers not being good for this, but...
I can't imagine, though, it being that much better on a 64 controller.
I think it was, like, because... so you guys are going to think I'm
I think
saying
what
this.
it breaks down to is that, like, I think for the time, it was a very good game. It does not age well.
So...
Well, because, I mean, to be honest, like, every other controller can get away with, like, using a directional button for moving and using a directional button in combination with a move to do that move.
Yeah.
I think that they really wanted to utilize the full controller, which I think in regular games, if I recall, because of how you had to hold the
Yeah, it's
controller.
like you normally used like either the outer controllers or one of the outers and the inner, and you didn't utilize.
Yeah, you didn't utilize every button on that controller. It was dependent on what game and how you held it. And I don't even know how you could pull that stuff off.
Well,
how do you because the yellow buttons are here and the regular buttons are here. How do you grapple and do that? Because you said the yellow buttons were your directional buttons for the what type of grapple and stuff you use, right?
No. So yeah, okay. That's his control. They had the A and B, which are like green and red, I think.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So one of those was your attack, and one of those was your grapple.
Okay.
Then the directional stuff, I don't remember what's goes to what, but like one of them would be you hit it to run, and that they'd be like kind of
Like maybe run, slide.
extraneous move, like different kinds of things. I think one of them's block, maybe. But in the original game, like you would hold on the outside, right? And then that stick, the left stick, you use for taunts. So you would only do that if you're not in like immediate danger, right? Like so it was easy enough to just like go over there and flick it real fast, and you would just do a taunt. The only other time you use it is if you get your special move. You do a heavy grapple, and then you flick the stick, and it'll do your special move, unless you have a weird one where you have to be positioned in some odd way. But you're usually not in a situation where you are in an urgent pressing situation and you have to use the stick. So really you're on the outside of the controllers for the most part. And so it's not that hard to do as far as that goes. What's funny, you guys are going to think I'm crazy for this. So, because, as I mentioned, I'm playing WWE 2K25, right?
Only for this?
Yeah, just for this. Nothing else. And that game is... It's funny because you can see, like, it has this game, this controls DNA in it, but it's really a lot more complicated because there's a lot more moves. It depends on positioning. There's all kinds of, new stuff you can do now because of technology, right? And so I always think, like, well, this isn't a good game to sit with a friend or friends and play multiplayer on the same screen unless they know the game, because, like, there's a tutorial in that game that takes, like, an hour to get through. Now, granted, you don't need to know everything, but still, it's complicated. This game was a game when I had the WCW ones. Like, my friends would come over and be like, okay, here's what you press, and they'd be like, okay, let me try this for a couple minutes. Okay, got it. And we would be playing big groups all the time, and it was easy. It was easy to pick up. It doesn't seem easy now, and I understand that. But, I do think the controller plays a part in that. The controller, that we're using plays a part in that. I think when you actually have the real one in your hand, and it's like, okay, well, these are the most important things. And then when you want to run, you can hit this, and I think that makes it a lot easier to do. at least from my experience. But it's very unintuitive if you're emulating to be using the right stick as any kind of button. It's weird, and it just doesn't end up feeling right. So, like, in my opinion, like, I think, as far as talking about aging or not, if you're playing mostly single player, or you want to play very competitively, just play the newest game, like that 2K25 or whatever, one of those, because there's a lot more modes. The story that is there is a lot more complicated than this one, where it's like, hey, I'm gonna fight you because you got beat by a woman. Okay, cool. I don't know. It's very simple, and then you fight.
I think that's how it's going to be with like most of the sports games. Like,
Yeah.
why go unless there's a specific character that you want to play as that's not in a later year or whatever. But even in like the sports games, you can always trade them, and stuff like that. But it seems like you'd always just want to play the newest one. Yeah,
and like honestly, the new ones too. I didn't go and check one per one, but a lot of those characters are in there. They have a lot of like the classic characters. You can play as Andre the Giant. He's been dead for a long time. And then even if they're not in there, you can go look at community creations. Someone's probably made some of those characters, and you can get a pretty good likeness of them into your game. So not great for that. However, if I was going to sit down and play a game with you guys, I would feel like it'd be a hell of a barrier for me to sit there here and be like, okay, guys, here's a controller. Let me teach you for the next hour or so all the controls to play WWE 2K25. I wouldn't do that. I'd be like, here's the simple stuff. We'll start with that. And I won't use anything outside of that either. But still, a lot more complicated. Whereas this one, if we had the right controllers, I'd feel more comfortable saying, okay, here's basically how you do it. Let's do a Royal Rumble or a tag team match or something where we could be able to say, whatever. I think if you just are talking about a game where you can get together with your friends, have a few beers or sodas if you don't drink, and you sit around the couch and just laugh and just screw around, I think it's still great for that purpose. Awesome. Beyond that, though, I can't see someone preferring the campaigns, the title belt campaigns, to what you can do in like the modern games. They're cool though. I mean, I was enjoying it. It's kind of neat. I mean, again, the story's like very thin even for wrestling, but I'm like, all right, yeah, sure. I got to fight Rikishi now because whatever. It didn't make sense, but it's fine. And they come and they'll challenge me, and that's great. And I go fight them, and it's fine. It's more fun than just like the older games where it's like, I guess I'll play this guy versus this guy now, and now I'll just play this guy versus this guy. I'll challenge him because he has the title. Okay, now this guy has the title, but there's no like story at all. It's neat that that's there. It's better than the older ones are as far as that goes.
Yeah, I didn't even try any of the other options because if I couldn't figure out like the few times that I tried the exhibition, then there was no reason to try the other ones. So sadly, I didn't get too far into this game.
Yeah, if you can't get the pinning down, then that's, and I googled. See, I didn't look at the instructions. I googled so that I saw that that's how you pin, which is the only reason I knew. I mean, maybe I would have figured it out, or maybe I wouldn't have. I don't know. It's the R, or I'm sorry, the L button.
Oh, which was
the pin button.
No, which was the same as on the thing, or
well, that's what the whatever I looked up on the internet said. Yeah, okay. But
I swear I push that button.
Yeah, but I can see where that's.
I did too.
I can see where that's not necessarily intuitive. Like I guess like if I was plotting out this game and the controls, I wouldn't necessarily think pin is a trigger, but I don't know why. Other people might disagree. I just feel like that is kind of an odd button for pin, so I get why you wouldn't necessarily get that right off, But that's where I'm at with it. I think it's good to get around with your friends and play, or if you can emulate it. I mean, hell, just do it, and you can try out the cool little championship modes. They're fun, I guess. The Royal Rumble ticks me off though, because as everyone knows, the way you win the Royal Rumble or get eliminated is by being thrown over the top rope and both feet touching the floor. Not so in this game. I threw people out and they just come back in. I'm just, what the hell? You have to pin or submit them. That is not how the Royal Rumble works. Come on, man. And what's annoying about that is I know in previous games they had battle royals where getting tossed out did eliminate people. So it's not like they don't know how to do it. I had a cool cheat in the first one where if I was Kevin Nash, I could sling someone against the ropes, run after them immediately, and then do the high kick while they were like bouncing back and just physically make them like fly out of the ring every time. I could eliminate someone that just got in every time. It was cheap. I was totally cheesing the game, and it's just not, I think it's weird that they did that. Minor nitpick on that, but
just slowly finding out that I don't like David's games over and over and over again.
Makes me sad. You can bring a horse to water, but you can't make them like good games. It's true. I think that's the saying. Yeah, that sounds right.
I think good games is a...
I think you'd like mighty games if they
Different
ever got picked.
Yeah.
definition.
Man, you picked Earthworm Jim.
It was good. It was a good game.
It was a game. It was, it had moments.
It had buttons that worked.
Did it though? I couldn't get the propeller thing to go off very often. I'm just saying. So, and I didn't know how to pin in that game. So, all right. So we have. Am I right? Two people that say this does not age well.
Yeah.
And me under certain circumstances, yes. Under circumstances, not so much. So I feel bad saying that because a lot of people really do still love this game and these games. And I think that's awesome. Definitely do it. But again, for me, it's a narrow. I would play this multiplayer. I don't think I'd spend as much time single player.
Yeah, and I think. Oh, go ahead.
Also, so you're talking about having someone come over and play multiplayer. I think a key thing is I at least assume if you have the correct control.
Yeah.
Yes. If you have the correct control, yes.
That's what I was going to say,
yes. It's very annoying with not the right controls because, at least for me, in those specialty matches, good luck. Good luck with some weird matches like ladders and cages. Like, I think you could eventually kind of get the hang of the regular match things, although
Did you do a tag team?
I did not. No, I just did singles. I was in a handicap match. It was 2 against 1, but I didn't have to tag anybody.
We tried versus last night, and I was playing as Jeff Hardy, and Matt Hardy came down to the ring with me. It was just the two of us playing for a long time, and then all of a sudden Christian came down and helped you out. Yeah. And Matt came in, so it ended up being a weird.
I mean, I like that they have that kind of thing that can happen where somebody comes in and interferes, like just out of the blue. Like, that's fun. That's wrestling for you. But yeah, I'm not gonna say it's not. I don't think it's a bad game by any stretch. It's just that you could do better on a lot of it.
Yeah, I feel like it's. Again, it's a game that doesn't age well. I think back in the day, it was a really good wrestling game.
Definitely.
I just don't think it ages well now.
Yeah, that's too bad. But let us know if you agree or disagree. Send hate mail to these two, not me. I liked some of it. You can send it to me too if you want. That's okay. But yeah, that's how it goes. Well, the good news is that because we've gotten one of those 4 out of the way for N64, I'm unlikely to pick one of the others. So you probably won't have to deal with that particular engine again unless we do Def Jam something. But even that will be made for like a PlayStation controller. So whatever goes on there, I don't know how different it is. That'll at least be made for the correct kind of controller. So it'll work out. I'm sad.
Ready to see what we're playing for next time?
Yes, I am, but I dropped my phone.
Maybe it'll break and it won't be anything of yours again.
I remember what I picked. So the next episode is going to be just a couple days before Halloween. Ooh. So we had to bring horror or at least spooky games for any of the systems that we covered.
Yeah.
So
for my first horror game, I picked Leisure Suit Larry.
There is
horror game, right?
There is some horror.
Yeah.
There,
horror.
Oh. Yeah. Well, I played some of those. There was one point where I was like bound up, and there's someone with a whip. I mean, that's scary. It's scary. But yeah, I didn't pick one of those. So I don't know. Did you want to say what you actually picked?
Yes, I'll say that. So I wanted to spread out the systems because I know the last time we did some pick a system, I kind of did, I think, 2 PS1s and a PS2 game or something like that. So I wanted to kind of get all over the board. And it was nice because, like, Halloween, monster-ish horror games, they have them on all systems. Yeah. So for classic PlayStation, regular PlayStation, probably one of the more popular horror type games, I picked Resident Evil 2.
Nice.
Yeah. I remember I didn't play too much of the game, but I remember watching people play the game, and we'd always actually one of the fond memories that I had was we set up like a tent out on this guy's backyard, and we actually we had an extension cord to a TV and stuff. And so we were playing it in the middle of the night out in a tent. And that was, when the the lickers or whatever they call them would come out and jump out at you. It was scary.
I bet. That's awesome.
And then for my other good game, I have beaten this game using save states. It's Zombies Ate My Neighbors for the SNES. It's kind of like a top-down avoid attack puzzler type game. It's a lot of fun. You go around, you have to save neighbors, and it's hard, and you really need save states, because if any of your civilians get eaten, then they go down, and you have to have so many by the end of the game to win and stuff like that. So that's that game. And then for my one, I don't know if it's a bad game, it's just one that I wasn't familiar with, is Splatterhouse for Sega.
Gotcha.
I think it had decent reviews.
Yeah. I've played, I don't remember if Splatterhouse 1 or if there's a Splatterhouse 2 on there.
There's both.
I played one of them. I can't remember which one I played, but it was interesting. So, do you want to go first or you want me to go?
Oh, you can go.
All right. I'm going to isolate that part where you said using save states and put that after every game you say you play, just because you give me so much shit for it. And here you're like, you have to because it's hard. All right, Steve, I see how it is. Okay, that's fine though. Okay, I had trouble. I wanted to spread things out too, but I had a lot of trouble just getting off of like the PlayStation 2 because there's really a lot of them there. So I had like 3, and I was like, these are all PlayStation 2. I need to change them up. So I did pick something else that wasn't. But for my first pick, I picked Fatal Frame 2 Crimson Butterfly for the PS2. They're doing a remake of that. And so I thought it might be kind of cool to revisit that and see what that's like. It's a survival horror game, but your only weapon is a camera. And I guess the flash can like stun the ghost or something. But it's supposed to be really, really creepy. I've only played like, I want to say 5 minutes or something of the first Fatal Frame. So I don't know too much about how it plays, but I've always thought they looked interesting and I wanted to play them more. That second game, the one that is not on PS2, I picked Eternal Darkness for the GameCube. So it's a horror game, and you kind of jump around in time a little bit, or maybe a lot. I don't want to say a lot about it because this game, much like that game I was playing, the Doki Doki Literature Club, this does not just mess with your character. This messes with you. Like, it will mess with you, and it's neat. So I don't want to say what all it does, but if you know, you know, and if you don't know, you need to learn because it's special. For my iffy game, I don't think it's a bad game necessarily, but it got mixed reviews. It's called Rule of Rose, and that's for PlayStation 2. And in it you play, if I have this right, a girl that goes to like a boarding school. I think this is sometime in the past, but the school has been taken over by a group of like, I want to say mean girls, but they're not just like being like, you're fat. Like, no. Like, there's messed up stuff going on in this game. Like, it's closer to Lord of the Flies. I almost said Lord of the Rings. That's also that's a different thing entirely. And the reason why I think it's worth it anyway is because it has like it has some interesting history because this got banned in a lot of places based on a lot of controversy. So I think it'd be interesting to talk about. But those are my 3. So, look.
All right. So my first pick is kind of my iffy pick because it kind of loosely fits into the theme, and then it's a fighting game that I feel like it kind of really went under the radar for fighting games, and that is going to be Blade Roar 2. I went with the PS1 version, and I played it on the GameCube, but I know the GameCube emulator can be a little tricky, so I thought the PS1 might work better for emulating. But it's a fighting game, and part of it is that you transfer into like animals, hybrid creatures, so kind of like werewolves and stuff like that. So like I know someone transfers into like a lion beast, someone transfers into like there's a chameleon person, there's
Animorphs, the video game.
Yeah, so it's it kind of fits into the theme because you change into some monsters basically. But I enjoyed it, but I know it's one that's kind of under the radar. So my second pick is Soul Reaver 2 for the PS2. And then I also want to kind of spread things out over systems. So I know I wanted to have Ghostbusters, the video game, in there. So I went with the PSP version, just kind of spread out the systems. So
nice.
I have, looking at pictures, I have played Bloody Roar. It sounded like I didn't recognize it by the name, but when you said they change into like creatures and stuff, I do recall.
Yeah, I've played more than one of them, but I don't know which ones I've played anymore. But
right. I'm surprised nobody picked Silent Hill.
I eliminated that so I could put a GameCube game in.
Yeah, I almost went with Silent Hill 2, and is a horror game that my best friend played a lot of, and so like I go over and watch her play it, and I couldn't remember if it was Silent Hill or Resident Evil. I still don't remember, so I was trying to kind of look at pictures to see if I could remember which one it was, but since you put Resident Evil in, I'm like, well...
Yeah, that's the reason. I didn't want to put two bangers.
Yeah.
Yeah, why do that? That'd be terrible. Okay, so we're going to throw a vote behind one of these each to give it a better chance in the randomizer. So, Steve, what are you picking?
I'm going to pick Zombie Ate My Neighbors.
Okay. Hilary, what about you?
I'm going to go with Ghostbusters.
Ghostbusters, okay. I'm going to pick Resident Evil 2 because I also have the remake of that, and so I'd probably play them like in tandem just to kind of see what the difference, I mean, other than graphically, see what the differences are, so that could be kind of fun.
He also didn't want to vote for one of his own.
Yeah, I'm trying. I'm trying to help you. It's not my fault that fates don't like you guys. I don't know what to tell you. I have no control over this. It's just what it is. Okay.
I have no control over it other than putting the picks in the order that they're in.
It's random. It doesn't matter what order they're in.
Well, he did drop his phone, so maybe that'll fix it.
Damn it, you guys. Jesus. That's probably why you don't like my games, because you're mad you're not getting your respect. That's probably all it is. That's my theory.
Yeah. I just go in with a bad attitude.
That's right. I think you do. All right. So let's find out what we got. Okay, so the game we picked. Let me present with you with a question. I'll tell you a little scenario here. A few scenarios. So, if there's something strange in your neighborhood, or if there's something weird and it don't look good, if you're seeing things running through your head, or there's an invisible man sleeping in your bed, who are you going to call?
Bloody Roar 2.
You got it! Oh my god! That's amazing! Damn, I thought it was going to be so vague. You're good, Steve, dude. I don't even know what to tell you. We're gonna play. God damn it! We're gonna play Ghostbusters for the PSP. Ooh. Awesome.
I hope it's like Luigi's Mansion.
It probably is.
They suck up ghosts like
they do.
Luigi Mansions.
Yeah, maybe it is. I don't know. Oh, Luigi's in character. That'd be great. I don't think that's the case, but that would be cool.
No, this is based off a movie because it's called what? Ghostbusters the movie, right?
Ghostbusters is the video game.
The video game.
Yeah.
Is it? But the PSP came out well after the like Dan Aykroyd, Bill Murray movies, right? Or is it? Is this based on like a?
It takes place after the first movie or the second?
Second movie.
Yeah, it takes place after the second movie. So
yeah. Dan Aykroyd said that this is, in his opinion, canonically the third movie.
Interesting.
Yeah. So that's cool. Okay. That's cool. Hope it's good. Or are we mad at Dan Aykroyd?
And Hilary.
And Hilary.
Hey, the drop phone works. We just have to slap it out of his hands every time.
The floor here is concrete. You're not going to drop my phone every time. I swear we'll do a week where I don't have a pick. That's fine. I'll do that. We can work that out. I don't care. You guys. Jesus Christ.
All right. So let's see what we're gonna do after Halloween episode.
Yes. Okay. So we're gonna find out what system we're playing on, or usually that's what it is. All right. So we're gonna be playing a game on any handheld. Ooh, that's fun.
Any handheld.
Now the GameCube has a handle on it, but that doesn't count. That's not, that doesn't count as a handheld. I'm sorry.
Is the Wii U? Is that even in our genre? Is that a handheld?
It's maybe, but it's too new. Who has a Wii U?
I think we do.
Do you really?
Yeah. Wow. It's basically a Wii, but like some of the games incorporate that tablet.
Yeah. I actually thought it sounded like a cool idea, but like I don't know. It doesn't sound like it was well supported.
There's a reason why it flopped.
Yeah, it's too bad. Okay, and we're going to be playing sim games or simulation games. Now that's kind of a weird category because that could be a game like The Sims, or it could be like a flight sim. Yeah, so they could get kind of a weird spread of games for this one, but that's good because we have a big spread of systems to choose from. So
I think I have an idea. Well, not too big of a spread because they're handheld.
Yeah,
that's true. Yeah, there are some limitations there, but that's okay. So we're going to find out what we're going to be playing from there next week, but the game we will be talking about next week is Ghostbusters, the video game, for the PSP. It's not as good as one of mine, but I hope you guys will listen anyway. So that's it. You guys have anything else? Subscribe to us if you haven't. Leave a 5-star, your equivalent review on whatever you're listening or watching on. Comment if you can. All these things will help us be seen, heard, whatever, by more people, which is great. If you want to talk about the episodes with us, you can look in the show description. It has links to our Facebook group and our Discord server. And that's also a place where you can tell us what games you'd like us to cover, because one of our randomization possibilities is fan picks. So if you want to have a better chance of the games that you want to hear about getting into the podcast, that's the place to go and let us know about that. So make sure you do, because you'll think of things that we probably never would have. So there, and they won't be my picks. So Steve can shut up. Isn't that nice? All right, guys. I guess that's it. We will see you for our Halloween special. Bye.
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 Retro Station wants you to take your day one paid downloadable content, dust it off, turn it sideways, and stick it straight up your candy ass.